Mark Davis, I'm looking at you right now on behalf of all of Raider Nation. You told us to smarten up with Josh McDaniels. Well, guess what? I'm looking at you right now. It is time to smarten up, and you got to fire Josh McDaniels. That guy is a clown. That man is the biggest fraud in the NFL. You just lost 30-12 to the Chicago Bears, to Matt Eberflus, to a backup quarterback in Tyson Bagent. You are showing time and time again, Mark. If you want to go be the owner of the Aces, go be the owner of the Aces. That's a winning team because you can't get it done as an owner here of the Raiders. You want to give a little bit of faith to the nation because the nation deserves better right now. You got to fire the clown. And if you want the Raiders to fire Josh McDaniels, I want you to spam fire Josh McDaniels down below. I am so angry. I am so upset. The amount of words that come to my mind right now about just how devastated I am about that performance. If I'm a Raider fan right now, I'm going to look at every single person dead in the eyes right now on this camera. And I want to look at every single one of y'all because here's my message. If I'm a Raider fan, I'm not going to a Raiders game. If I'm a Raider fan, I am boycotting this season. I'm not going to Allegiant Stadium. I'm not buying a single Raiders ticket. I am saying until the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels, I'm not going. I work hard for my money. And if you work hard for your money, there's no chance I'm spending it on going to a game in Las Vegas to watch this team try to put together a win. I'm not doing it. So, nation, I'm asking you. And I hate doing this because I bleed silver and black. It's freaking tatted on my leg at this point. I'm with you. The nation is family. But sooner or later, we as fans got to smarten up. And we got to get loud. We got to tell every single person that makes decisions, I'm not going to a Raiders game. Boycott going to games. Don't go to Allegiant Stadium until the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels. And when the Raiders finally do fire that clown, I'm going live for 24 straight hours. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because when the Raiders finally smarten up, Mark, they're going to fire the clown that they call Josh McDaniels. So coming up here, it's going to be our post-game reaction show. I've been mad on a lot of shows before. Man, I've been doing this thing for a long time. I know there's a lot of OG Raider fans out there, and let me know how long you've been a Raiders fan. This game was frustrating. You decided to start Brian Hoyer and Aiden O'Connell. I'm not going to sit up here right now and take my victory lap tour because I'll tell you this right now, I would rather be extremely wrong. I would rather be walking around with an L on my forehead saying that Brian Hoyer was the right move to play at quarterback. I would rather be this guy right now. But you know what the problem is? When you know that you're going to start Brian Hoyer, who has lost 12 starts in a row, now 13 starts in a row. He hasn't won a start since October 4th, 2016. There's a reason. Brian Hoyer is not a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL, and yet McDaniels decides to roll with Hoyer. And you saw the product on the field. Hoyer was bad. Hoyer is not somebody that you can ever rely on be a starting QB. If you want to have Hoyer in the game because Jimmy Garoppolo isn't ready because you decided to sign a QB made of glass to run the offense in the offseason to get your team acclimated, sure, go for it. But in a game like this, when you're 3-3, when you know you got the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football here, it's a must-win game. And you roll out Brian Hoyer instead of Aiden O'Connell, it just shows that McDaniels is in way over his head. I hate being this critical of a dude, but at the end of the day, he can be an OC. He could be an offensive quality control coach here and there. He's not built to be a head coach. And Mark Davis, I'm begging you. If I got to get on my knees here to beg you, you got to fire this guy right now or else you're losing this fan base. You're spitting on your father's grave, and I hate saying that, but you are. You're spitting on your father's grave. As long as you keep Josh McDaniels as your head coach, commitment to excellence, throw it out the window. Don't light the flame. Don't light the owl flame. It's literally, it makes no sense to light the owl flame as long as Josh McDaniels is his head coach. And it sucks, and it's sad, but I can't take it anymore. The nation can't take it anymore. And from the bottom of my heart, the nation deserves better. Bro, you got to fire the clown. If you want the Raiders to fire Josh McDaniels, spam fire Josh McDaniels, Boo the clown, because I have never seen another person. I'm not even going to call him a man. I'm not even going to call him a boy. I can't even refer to McDaniels as I can't even think of him right now, because this guy has no being a head coach. And I love when people amongst the Raiders are like, or McDaniels says, guys don't understand, coaching staff this, execution. McDaniels is going to put the blame on everybody. It's what he does. He's going to say, he's going to say, he's going to work his way around this press game conference like somebody who hasn't prepared for a PowerPoint presentation. And I can't take it anymore. I can't. You can't keep sending out McDaniels every head coach, because you're going to be the worst team day in and day out. Let's go to X Growth. I'm just embarrassed of this team. Terrible effort. My high school team would have swept them. Just garbage play calling, garbage tackling, no discipline. Bad discipline. Tackling today was embarrassing. Your defensive tackle room, guess what? It stinks. And until you fix the battle of the interior, the Bears today were without 3 of their starting offensive linemen. Think about that. They were without 3 of their offensive starting linemen on a team that Alex Leatherwood can't even play on. So Alex Leatherwood can't even play on this team, and yet you get whooped the way that you did. There's no heart. Nobody wants to play for McDaniels. Davante Adams spoke, and it's this. Nobody wants to play for Josh McDaniels. Listen to it loud and clear. Nobody wants to play for the clown that is named Josh McDaniels. Alan Rader, maybe we can draft J.J. McCarthy. I don't want J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is a damn good college quarterback. He's not a pro QB. If I'm a Raider fan right now, I'm hoping for Lincoln Riley. I'm hoping for John Harbaugh, because both of those guys are going to be available next season as head coaching candidates. Now, here's the one thing, man. I played fantasy today. I lost in the Raiders game, but you know what? I still have a shot to win some money on Monday Night Football, and that's what I ended up doing this upcoming game. So if anybody out there likes fantasy football, shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks, because they've made daily fantasy sports easy, and all you'll have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, because we're hooking you up here for a first deposit match up to $100. I've been playing Prize Picks for a long time, and I think the nation out there would really enjoy playing this awesome app as well. With Prize Picks, it's the most fun that I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. You just have to select 2 or more players, pick more or less on the player projected stats, and place your entry. So for Monday Night Football, I'm going to go Kirk Cousins more on passing yards, Brandon Ayuk more on receiving yards, and then TJ Hawkinson. I'm going to be real with y'all. I went with these 2 guys right here because I need it for my family fantasy football league. Cousins, I'm just hoping that they can put together some passing yards here. We'll see, though, what ends up happening going down. But if anybody wants to get started with our sponsor, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Now, let's keep these questions rolling in here on our post-game reaction show. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, trying to vent to the best possible ability that we can possibly have. Josh McDaniels, quote after the game, "We lost control of the line of scrimmage, and then we were kind of playing the game backwards." That's what McDaniels had to say about why they lost today's game. We lost the line of scrimmage, and then we kind of started playing the game backwards. You have a head coach that has no spine. You have a head coach that's not a leader of men, and I don't care what you do in life. If you don't have a guy, I don't care if you're trying to run a Little League team. If you're trying to run a Little League team right now and your head coach is a moron just speaking a bunch of nonsense, your Little League team's not going to win. If you're going to battle right now, and I want to know where my Army vets are at right now, because I know there's a lot of Army vets that watch this show. If you got a sergeant speaking nonsense, it's going to get people killed. And right now, Josh McDaniels is putting people out there in bad positions, and he's purposely, I should say purposely, he just has no idea what he's doing, and he's purposely getting people in bad spots, putting the Raiders in bad spots, and it's just time and time again. It's frustrating. And you can be the greatest X's and O's guy in the world, and maybe McDaniels is the greatest X's and O's guy in the world, but there are certain jobs that people aren't cut out to do. And Josh McDaniels is not cut out to be a head coach, just like I'm not cut out to be a brain surgeon. I can't do it. Why? I'm not smart enough to be a brain surgeon. A lot of people out there aren't smart enough to be brain surgeons. Think about whatever you do in your daily life. Certain people aren't built to be that. because they don't have the human qualities that it takes. And sometimes being a head coach, one of the qualities that it takes is being a leader. And McDaniels isn't a leader. Let's go to Julio. Who do the Raiders hire next as head coach? Anybody. And I hate even giving that answer. I literally mean, I think you could hire literally anybody and they would do a better job. Name somebody. Name anybody alive right now. If they have a pulse, better head coach. And it sucks, but that's how I feel. I'm a better head coach than Josh McDaniels. If you're a better head coach than Josh McDaniels, spam me right now down in the live chat. I see the Ringmaster, Marco, Too Solid, Frankie, Jose Ramirez, Brandon Martinez, Christopher G. I see Guillermo, 55-9, Rick Black. I mean, it's no secret. This Raiders team has talent. They have talent on both sides of the football. But when you have no idea what you're doing, you're not going to win football games. Tessia, fire McDaniels. Fire Josh McDaniels. I'm done with this clown, man. It's just every week. It's every week. He finds a new way to just be like, he finds a week. Every single week, finds an excuse. Josh McDaniels just disagreed with the suggestion that his team wasn't prepared. That's unbelievable to me. If you watch this press game conference right now, it's Josh McDaniels with his tail between his legs. And if you try to come at him, he's disagreeing with it. Josh McDaniels just said that I disagree with the fact that we were not, I disagree with the fact that we weren't prepared. Here's the thing, McDaniels, you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared. Nobody wants to play for you. Get it through your head. Jennifer, last year, first 6 games, we had 165 points, 28 points per game. The offense was a lot better last season. The offense was able to stretch the field. The offense wasn't so vanilla. And here's the thing. The Raiders still did the right move by moving on from Derek Carr. But Derek Carr would be light years better than Brian Hoyer. Derek Carr would be light years better than Jimmy Garoppolo. The fact that they didn't start Aiden O'Connell, I don't really know. McDaniels wanted to go with Hoyer in hopes of a clean game, but he said he won't second-guess himself and didn't consider switching to O'Connell at halftime. Again, McDaniels is afraid to admit that he's wrong. Josh McDaniels in this post-game press conference can't admit he was wrong. And that's what I hear. I'm listening to it in this ear right now. I'm listening to everything y'all say in this ear right now. McDaniels right now is saying that he doesn't think that anything that he did was wrong. He's blaming it on the players. I mean, it's incredible to me. Josh McDaniels is blaming the players. Unreal. It's unreal. It's unreal. You have a spineless head coach. Spineless head coach. McDaniels on the rush defense. We missed way too many tackles and over-pursued. That's true. You did miss way too many tackles. You did over-pursue. But here's the problem. When you're the head coach, it falls on you. It falls on you. That's what a head coach is. It's always going to fall on your shoulders. So instead of saying, it's that guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, why am I as a player going to sit up here and play for a guy that's just going to throw me under the bus? And it's not a matter of, is it true or not? The Raiders were bad today. The Raiders missed opportunities. Those are all facts. But as a head coach, you don't go up there and you don't say that we missed too many tackles. You don't go up there and you don't say that we did this and this bad. We know that. As fans, we know that. As media, we know that. As people watching, we know that. As a head coach, I want somebody that has my back. And the Raiders don't have a head coach right now that has their back. Dude, Patriots won 29-25 over the Bills. That's wild to me. Wild to me. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't agree more. PG, great play-by-play, guys. Gotta go. Hey, PG, good night to you. I'll tell you this, Raider Nation. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Dean Sharp! Bang! I'm telling you this right now. I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere, Dean. I'm not going anywhere, Dean. If you want to vent your frustrations, here's your place to do it. Vent your frustrations right now here on the Raiders Report. Programming schedule. We're going to be live tomorrow and Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be live on Thursday for Bills, Buccaneers. And then I'm going to be live on Monday. Raiders Monday Night Football. But you know what, Dean? Cheers to you, my guy. Here's my final question. Who should start at QB? Who should start at QB week 8 against the Detroit Lions? Should it be Jimmy Garoppolo? Should it be Brian Hoyer? Or should it be Aiden O'Connell? I told y'all that Brian Hoyer was not the right guy. Okay? I take a lot of pride in what I do. I feel like I know this team very well. Brian Hoyer's not the guy. Jimmy Garoppolo's not the guy. It's Aiden O'Connell. You got to roll with AOC. We'll see what ends up happening, though. Let me know down below who should start at QB for the Raiders next week against the Lions.